Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Disability Channel Detroit. We're talking with Diane Winterstein, the coach of the Motor City Wheels basketball program. And of course, you touched on a great point just before the break, Diane, and I'd like to touch on that again, that your team is co-ed. So, men and women can play together and get some really good camaraderie. I mean, have you noticed a benefit in having both male and female competitors?
It's wonderful to have girls that compete because we really haven't always had, girls. Most of the time on my team, I've had girls. We've had at least, one girl on the team. Girls bring a lot to the court. they're very, good with the boys. It helps them to be more competitive and to really show what their abilities are. And they have a place. Girls can compete with the boys. They're always welcome. We're always looking for kids. Our team is open to have as many kids on the team as possible. We start with the young kids, and they're again, as you said, they play at the 8.5-foot high basket. They really are developing their skills. They're developing chair skills. They're developing how to work as a team. They have to. There's a lot that they have to learn. We practice with the big kids on the same court, and then so that the little kids can watch what the big kids do and gain some of the knowledge of what they need to do on the court, how to be competitive, how to pass the ball, how to catch the ball, how to set a pick, how to do defense. It's really a good thing. And we find that the younger kids tend to look up to the older kids. And we've had a couple of our juniors and seniors who take the younger ones under their wing. And if the kid is getting a little off or not listening or whatever, where they'll partner up with them, and we'll try and help them mentor. So it's cool. The team is not only just for the competitive end of it, but it's also for helping develop some of the, as I call them, the building blocks of life, where you're not only winning and how to win gracefully and how to lose gracefully and how to be able to develop some of the leadership skills that hopefully they'll take on into their lives, and giving them some responsibilities of, as they get to be juniors or seniors, I try to say, okay, you're now the leaders of the team. So your younger kids are going to follow your lead. So help them understand what their roles are. And of course, with our team, academics is a big key to being on the team, because we want the kids to be good, not only on the court, but off the court. And if they're on the team, they're representing our team wherever they go. So if they're going to school, then you behave correctly in school and you do your homework and you get your stuff in on time. And so we really try to focus academically on keeping the grades up, because that helps them get into the colleges once they graduate from high school.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, great points you touch on. I mean, the emphasis of being a student athlete versus, just the emphasis on athletics. And, you touched on it a little bit, but, the NWBA has many different resources for youth and up-and-coming athletes. So you touched on a little bit of them, but can you talk about some of them that you feel are important?
I am on the national board with the NWBA as part of the junior division. I'm the second vice president of the junior division on our national level. And we find that there are opportunities for kids if they excel in their academics, they're rewarded for that. Every year at the conference level, like we're in the Midwest Conference, we have Midwest Conference awards. So the kids that have a 3.0 or higher grade point average, and we get it from kindergarten on up. I mean, we will recognize these kids that they
Sure.
want to achieve these goals of having good grades. Well, at the national level, we have the All Academic Awards, and it's for 5th to 9th graders and then the high school kids. And they're allowed to submit um, a, a video or some type of project each year. They're given a guideline. This year, the project was about how COVID has affected my life. So we had, I think it was like 19 kids across this nation who submitted their projects. And now when we go to Wichita in another week, we will be recognizing them at the banquet or at the award ceremony, since we can't really do a banquet this year. But we have, the resources for academics, which again, when you get that All Academic Award and you go out and apply to college and you can say, hey, I received the NWBA All Academic Award, that kind of looks good on your resume for school.
Sure.
The other aspect is these kids, if they have excelled in sport itself, opens the doors for them to get into universities that have the wheelchair basketball programs, also opportunities to move on to the Paralympic level where they're able to compete for the United States of America. So it's a wonderful opportunity that a lot of times parents aren't even aware that this stuff exists. But if the more we can educate people to let them know that we start here at the grassroots level with the Motor City Wheels or the Grand Rapids Pacers or the Michigan Wolverines, we start at our level with the kids, and then they move up and move on to either the Grand Rapids Pacers adult team or our own Detroit Wheelchair Pistons team down at RIM, Rehab Institute of Michigan. Actually, our Detroit Wheelchair Pistons are leaving on Tuesday to head to Wichita because they're going to compete at the national tournament with the adults. So,
oh my gosh,
it's going to be really good.
Yeah, well, we'll cheer on our Detroit Wheelchair Pistons as well. Go Pistons for sure. Absolutely. Well, and so many great resources you pointed out, and again, great things for the youth. But then, of course, you touched on how prevalent adaptive sport is becoming at the college and university level. And I am with you, Diane. I only think that adaptive sport is going to become more prevalent, and I will be proud to see the day when pretty much, hopefully, every university offers some sort of scholarship for adaptive sport. But I wanted to talk about this interesting event, too, that you're hosting. You're hosting the 3rd annual Junior Wheelchair Basketball Team Golf Outing coming up. So do you mind sharing a bit about that event and why it's important?
All right. We are having a wheelchair basketball golf outing at Cracklewood Golf Course on Sunday, July the 18th. And that's at 2:00 in the afternoon. So people could go to church in the morning, they could sleep in, whatever they do on Sunday mornings, but come on out at 2:00 and support the team. What this golf outing does is really helps to establish a fund basis for our team to work off of. Our team is a local team, but there's not any local teams around here for us to play. If we want to go play somebody, the closest is Grand Rapids, or we have to go to Cleveland, or we have to go down to Fort Wayne, Indiana. Those are our closest teams that we have. In saying that, every single one of these competitions that we would go to entail money. It costs money for registration for each of the tournaments. It costs money to register for the NWBA when you register your team. There's finances involved in helping the families pay for hotel rooms, because usually you got to stay at least one night, because it's usually a Friday or a Saturday to a Sunday type of a tournament. So this golf outing will help to start us off for this next season with a money base, something to establish so that we can hopefully get uniforms for kids that need it. Because I know that every single year we're going to get a few new kids. And the other important thing with our team is kids grow. So what fit them last year or the year before when they were a size 4 to 6 or 8 to 10 might not fit them next fall. So we're going to probably have to purchase some new uniforms. Uniform jerseys are like $75 a piece. So it's like things cost money, as you well know in sports. Things cost money. So this golf outing really, really helps with people sponsoring a hole, putting a program ad in, just making a straight out donation. We are appreciative of any kind of assistance. And of course, we like to see the golfers come out because that helps educate another whole group of people of what people with disabilities are capable of doing. And I talked with the golf course already, and for the kids that come out, I asked all of our team to come and be there so the golfers know who they're supporting, number one. But the second thing is that the golf course is willing to take kids out on their little putting range area there in their little practice area, and they're going to show them how to play golf from a wheelchair. How do you swing a club? How do you hold the club? A lot of kids haven't had any experience doing that, and there's no reason why they can't learn. So
that's awesome.
Try
Absolutely.
to make it a learning experience for the people that participate, plus our kids, and a great fundraiser for us.
Oh, absolutely. Sounds like an amazing, amazing event. Very rewarding. And how cool that the team members that do come can get a chance to, learn how to golf in a chair. Just amazing, amazing stuff. And of course, I never played basketball, Diane, but, I was a wrestler for many years. And I can tell you that being a former athlete myself, sport is extremely rewarding. And, it's a community that not only teaches you sportsmanship and confidence, but also teaches you how to work together with a team. So, I couldn't be in more support of you guys. And of course, you talked about how jerseys are expensive. But speaking of apparel, the NWBA also has new U.S. team apparel coming out. So, and that's really neat, that campaign. But I wanted to know from you, how are these athletes now, these Paralympians, gearing up for the Paralympic Games in Tokyo? And do you know, have they had challenges training because of the pandemic?
I think that we've had challenges across the board with folks through the year that have had difficulty. A lot of people are doing a lot of individual training and that sort of thing. Currently, the men's and women's teams have been out in Colorado Springs and trying out for the men's and the women's team. And they just announced the men's team. I found out that two of our guys that had played for our team back in the day, Michael Pay and Matthew Scott. Matthew Scott, you've probably seen on Nike commercials and that sort of thing, because he started with our team way back when he was a junior. And then we have the women's team that their selection should go on this week too. And finally, they have been able to all get together and participate and train out there in Colorado Springs. A lot of that has been on their own. People have had to do things on their own and keeping in shape and that sort of thing. But they've been doing it because these are individuals who are diehard athletes. These are individuals that want to represent the United States in the most positive way and bring home the gold. So they're serious athletes.
Absolutely. Well, with that, we're going to take a quick break, folks, and we'll be right back with Diane.